Guten Tag, der Ära ist wieder da. Wir spielen Greedfall. Und irgendwas ist jetzt gerade passiert. Ja, ich habe ewig und 3 Tage kein Greedfall mehr gespielt. Ich kann euch sagen, es ist gerade tatsächlich ein wenig schwierig und wir müssen zu Vater Lustius. Schauen wir mal. Also müssen wir dahin. Ja, ich habe jetzt eine richtig lange Pause gemacht, in der ich jetzt nicht gespielt habe. Also es ist halt einfach, ja, es war alles mögliche andere, was mir so dazwischen kam. Brauchen wir auch nicht diskutieren. Aber ich denke, so ein paar grundlegende Dinge kriegen wir schon noch hin. So, das ist nach wie vor nervig hier mit dem Händler und dem Lager zwischendurch, aber na gut, egal. Ja, jetzt schauen wir mal, ob wir Greedfall irgendwie fertig kriegen. Mal gucken. Ich habe mir jetzt vorgenommen, mich da wieder ein bisschen mit zu beschäftigen. Wir haben gerade Urlaub, dann sollte was gehen. Hier. Hey, die sind doch cool hier. Hey, der Witzka, Herr General. Kamen die einfach mal angreifen hier so von der Seite. Das ist ja wirklich frech. Das ist ja mal frech. So, hier ist ein Schnellreisepunkt. Und was haben wir denn hier? Hier ist ein Dorf Eden.
It is the village of Eden the Cardinal Mother told you about. The place where natives and priests live together. I must admit that I'm curious to see it.
All that's left to do is to find Father Justinius.
Okay, was ist denn das hier? Auftrag des Grab des Reisenden. Ich habe dir an das gute Herz der Reisenden auf der Straße nach Wetwil. Mein Bruder beschloss ihr zu folgen und kam nie wieder zurück. Okay. Grabt ein Grab für ihn. Nördlich von Eden, äußerst angeordnet Yorklands ein Nest. Seid vorsichtig, wenn er der Straße nach Nordosten folgt. Neste zu stören. Okay. Das ist ja okay. So. Schauen wir mal, wie das jetzt hier so weitergeht. Okay, da oben ist zumindest der Typ, den wir suchen. Die sehen trotzdem sehr unsympathisch aus, müssen wir mal ehrlich festhalten.
Welcome to Eden, the lighthouse of faith, harmony and civilization in these wild lands.
Sehr gut.
Thank you. Desade. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
And I am Father Justinius. Delighted. And what may I do for you?
The Mother Cardinal has asked me to investigate the theft of these tablets you discovered.
That's excellent news. The loss of the tablets is a catastrophe. We have to find them at all costs. If you want to learn more about these tablets, you should go ask Sister Eugenia. She supervises the theologians who discovered them, and were also guarding them. You should find her a bit further in the village, with her colleagues.
Who are the suspects of this theft?
The heretical brutes of the village of Vedlug most likely had a hand in this. They must have wanted to please the demons they worship by stealing the holy word from us.
How could they have learned of the tablet's existence?
Okay.
Perhaps the demons are giving them this power. Unless one of the natives living in the village innocently mentioned them. They are so naive. Either way, I am certain that the heretics are involved in this matter.
I must leave you. Goodbye.
May the enlightened always keep you in their divine blessing.
Na, hoffentlich.
I wonder what really happened when the missionaries came to settle here.
It all seems a bit too convenient. If we find out some information about the history of Eden, maybe we'll change our view on things. The theft of the relic is probably not a coincidence.
Okay, das ist tatsächlich alles ein bisschen, da ist wieder mehr dran, als es so den Anschein hat. Sind das die Eingeborenen, die hier in so einem Kleid rumlaufen müssen? Hey, der Witzka, Herr General. Ja. Was mich halt so ein bisschen nervt in dem Spiel, ist halt wirklich das viele Gelaber und das viele, also nicht das Gelaber, das Gelatsche. Und dass es halt einfach sehr, sehr, sehr straightforward ist. Es ist halt einfach, da ist wenig mit, ich entdecke selber irgendwas, sondern wir gehen einfach immer weiter und folgst einfach einer Questmarkierung und dann railroadest du zum nächsten Punkt. Das ist ein bisschen ärgerlich. Ansonsten, optisch gefällt mir das gut. Die Idee ist ganz geil. Meine Kanone mag ich. Das wird schon alles werden. So, jetzt gucken wir mal, was hier unten so los ist. Na, Eugenia, bist du hübsch? Nee.
Hello. The Mother Cardinal asked me to help you find the tablets that were stolen. Can I ask you some questions?
Of course. But hurry, I have a lot to do.
Gott.
I talked to Father Justinius. He told me that you were supervising the theologians here.
Indeed. It is under my supervision that the research on Saint Matthias is conducted.
Okay.
Where were the tablets the night they were stolen?
We were keeping them in one of the village's shacks. We intended to bring them to San Matthias later. But
Hütten des
first, we wanted
Dorfes.
to examine them in order to obtain as much information as possible. You can go and take a look in the shack if you want to. But I couldn't find any traces of forced entry.
Na, das ist aber seltsam.
I imagine someone was keeping watch over them.
Of course, we took turns guarding the shack. But some of us can't have taken the task that seriously. If I remember correctly, it was Brother Virgil who was guarding them that night.
Okay.
Whom do you suspect of being the thief?
Alas, I'm afraid there are many suspects. These tablets are priceless relics. Some settlers may have fallen prey to the lure of profit. The heretical natives of Vedlug may have wanted to take them away from us. Or it could have been vengeance by those who had to leave the village.
Well, thank you for these pieces of information.
Wen haben sie denn
I'm
hier
the one who should
vertrieben?
be thanking you. Especially if you managed to retrieve the tablets for us.
The Mother Cardinal told me that this village had been developed on the basis of St. Lucius's writings. Are you one of the theologians who helped in its creation?
Yes. I was sent here to confirm that this place is indeed the one described in the writings. And
Oh
there I
je.
stayed.
What was the reaction of the natives when you arrived here?
Most of them were not in favor of us living amongst them. They were afraid we might chase them out of their own village. And there were even more protests once we started talking about searching for traces of Saint Matthias. I suppose they thought we would destroy all of their raised stones and other places of superstition.
Were there any confrontations with the natives?
Yes. The warriors of the village attacked us. The Ordo Luminous actually had to intervene. The Inquisition managed to make them run away. The islanders tried to attack again with the support of Vedlug, but we stood our ground. And when Lur, the chief of the village, finally accepted our presence, things calmed down.
Aber am Ende habt ihr sie doch vertrieben.
This information will certainly prove to be useful.
Okay.
Thank you. I will let you work.
Oh, wir haben Punkte zu verteilen. So, 2 Handklingenwaffen. Brauche ich das? Hinten. Verheerender Tritt. Salbe dran. Will ich das haben? Schwere Einhandwaffen. Achso, hier brauche ich überall mehr Punkte. Wir könnten jetzt... Ach, was mache ich denn jetzt? Was ist denn das hier? Schwere Einhandwaffen. Aber Talente haben wir noch. Charisma haben wir oben. Jetzt wäre die Frage, ob wir Schlossknacken nehmen oder Wissenschaft. Handwerk, Intuition. Stärke. Ich glaube, ich nehme mal hier Schlösser knacken. So. Talentpunkt müssen wir noch ein bisschen aufheben.
Greetings, Desarde. I am handling the investigation into the theft of the tablets. Sister Eugenia told me to talk to you.
I'm Brother Virgil. What would you like to know?
Hi, Virgil.
According to your colleague, you were the one in charge of guarding the tablets on the night of the theft. Is that right?
Indeed.
Oh yeah.
What can you tell me about that night? Did you hear or see anything?
No, nothing in particular. The night was quiet, and then the morning after, we saw they were gone.
Die haben sie dir unterm Arsch
Someone had to
weggeräumt.
enter the shack to steal the tablets. How did that happen?
I have no idea.
Ist klar.
The door was closed in the morning, and the lock was intact.
Do you suspect anyone in particular?
Not really. What I can tell you for sure is it is not one of us.
Well,
Na,
Sister Eugenia did tell me that the tablets were priceless.
Of course. But our motivation is not the lure of profit. All that matters to us is their value as proof, not the money we could make out of them.
Do you think the culprit could be a native?
Well, since none of us did it, it seems obvious. There aren't many other settlers around here, and the natives knew of the existence of these tablets before we found them. They were attached to them too, in their
okay.
own way.
They are the ones who led you to them.
Well, we conducted the research, but they helped us find where they were hidden. Some inhabitants of the village are still giving us a hand with our work.
Well, thank you. I will investigate where the theft took place.
As you wish. But you won't find anything there. And why does it matter, anyway? There were witnesses to the discovery of these tablets. We have all the proof we need. And that's all that matters.
What do you mean?
Now we can prove Saint Matthias lived here. Our actions on this island are justified. To keep rummaging
God.
the way Sister Eugenia does will only create more tensions with the natives.
I was not expecting a theologian to say such things. Have you been in Eden for a long time?
2 months, approximately. Back then, there were still some pagan natives in the village.
Oh, die pagan
I joined
natives.
Sister Eugenia's team with some of my colleagues, so we could give them a fresh outlook on things. We arrived straight from Ptolemy, hoping to study some new texts. But once we were here, I understood that my real mission was with the islanders. We must bring the light to this island.
Oh, das ist ein richtig verblendeter Arsch.
How are your relations with the natives?
When I arrived, we were still trying to obtain information from them about Saint Matthias, but they were very reluctant to give us any answers. We were also trying to educate them. Our attempts eventually made some of the inhabitants of the village
Das ist immer gut.
react.
Ja, ja.
Most stubborn against our teachings
Verrückt,
the
hä?
warriors and the marked. The ones the natives call the Onomanawi. They eventually left, and it has proved nothing but a blessing for us. I would like to go back to work now, if you don't mind.
Of course. I will leave you to your
Okay.
work. Goodbye.
Also das ist schon mal ein Drecksack. So, der ist schon mal notiert im Hinblick auf Drecksack. So. Kann man gar nicht diskutieren, der ist doof. So, jetzt schauen wir weiter. Was haben wir hier noch? Na, reden wir erstmal mit ihm da.
Father.
I'm glad to see you, my child. What can I do for you?
Tell me about how you created this village.
We did not create it from the ground up. It was built around an existing native village. The islanders called it Vixenagad, which translates to the village of the old sage.
Oh yeah.
We saw it as a sign. The natives had probably chosen this name in memory of Saint Matthias, and everything here fit the description of Saint Lucius. The discovery of the tablets proved us right. So, we decided to rebuild our Eden here, in the spirit of peace and harmony which is described in the scriptures.
Why share this village with the natives?
To replicate and resume the work of our founder, of course. If he came here and managed to convert the natives, then it is our duty to do the same thing. By living side by side with them, it is much easier for us to pass on our teachings.
Oh Gott. Schwierig tatsächlich.
How well do you get along with the natives who live here?
Very well, of course. Especially
Natürlich,
since
sehr
those who
gut.
opposed our presence left.
Left? To go where?
Oh, to other villages, I imagine. Does it even matter? Those who stayed are on the path of enlightenment. Some of their legends must have been about Saint Matthias. That helped to convince them.
And how well have neighboring villages welcomed you?
With some reluctance, to be perfectly honest. So, we sent them missionaries.
Na klar, immer
There
schickt
are
Missionare.
still frequent conflicts with the village of Vedlug, a highly violent village of heretics. But the other villages, the more peaceful ones, are slowly starting to listen to the sacred word.
There is something strange here.
It often takes time for the people of the continent to get used to our paradise. But I am
Oh
sure
Gott.
you will come to appreciate it.
Ach, die machen mir alle Angst. Diese ganzen Typen hier finde ich echt schwierig.
Goodbye.
May the enlightened always
Ja, ja.
keep you in their divine blessing.
Die machen mir echt Angst hier, diese komischen Heinis. Das muss ich einfach mal so festhalten. Ah ja, da war es wieder. Da wollte ich wieder hüpfen. Komme ich wieder nicht runter, müssen wir wieder drumherum laufen. Ach, Mann. Mal überlegen. Stahlzweihänder. Warte mal, wo war das mit dem... Ja, alles klar. Faul war Waffe wechseln. Ja, wie gesagt, ich habe wirklich ganz lange jetzt nicht gespielt. Das ist halt einfach ein bisschen... Ach ja. Dementsprechend ist es halt alles ein bisschen kompliziert. So, ich glaube, wir werden jetzt mal hier den Dorfältesten uns schnappen und mal mit dem reden. Das ist auch schön, dass man hier reinkommt und dann immer weiß, aha, hier steht Zeug. Das war gut. Munition brauche ich. Ich brauche jede Menge Munition. Gefährtenleser-Tunika. Ne, gut, das Tirengewand ist schon echt auch ein gutes. Mal einfach mal festhalten, da kann man schon gut mit klar. Kann nicht jeder mit ne? So, jetzt reden wir mal mit El Bosso. Hey, El Bosso.
Hello. I am Lair, the village leader.
Oh je.
I was the leader of this village.
Oh je,
Hello.
nee.
Desarde. I am the legate of the merchant congregation.
There are Onol Menawi among the Logead Blau. I did not know that. What do you want from me?
I've heard a lot of things about this village of Eden, but I'd like to hear your version.
I'm not sure I have...
Naja, komm, erzähl du mir mal deine Geschichte.
But I'll try.
Ei, treu.
Tell me about the arrival of the people of Teleme, and how you received them.
The priests were roaming around the village. They were saying that it was the place where their saint had lived. They were asking questions, talking about the Lloyd and all these things. One morning they were building houses next to ours. And we had new neighbors.
Mhm. Die sind einfach gekommen und geblieben,
The
wie immer.
priests told me that they had managed to convert you. How did that happen?
As long as we refused to listen to them, they were violent, and they destroyed some of our sanctuaries. So we let them talk. And now that they think that we love their god, they leave us alone. Some of the things they say are beautiful, and their magic is impressive. But we do not forget our spirits.
Oh je. Ja, 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 ja.
One of the theologians told me that you had helped them in their research.
They wanted to find tracks of the old
dachte ich mir.
sage, of the one they call Saint Matthäus, and they were rummaging through everything. Our Donegad did not want to tell them anything, because the old sage is sacred here. But since they violently interrogated everyone, I thought it wise to guide them to the place where the stones were.
Scheiße.
What happened to your warriors? Why did they have to leave the village?
They did not accept the presence of the priests and their questions. They tried to retake the village. They even asked Deirdre, the chief of Vedlug, for her help. So, the priests called the Soul Lasser, the Burning Suns, and they killed many of them. I asked for peace, and the others left us. They wanted to join Vedlug. Perhaps they have done
Scheibenkleister.
so.
Aren't you angry after all that happened?
No. I mourn those who died, of course. And the Vorstierent. But this village may be our opportunity.
Your opportunity for what?
For the Renaigse to understand who we are. Not savages, nor monsters, but men. Perhaps wiser than they are.
Eieiei. Das geht schief, Kollege.
I have to go.
Like so many others.
I knew that the story would be more complex than we'd been told.
I find it regrettable that my colleagues aren't more honest when it comes to history. Nothing solid has ever been built on lies.
Either way, the resentment here is strong enough for a theft to occur.
Ja, das ist... Braucht man nicht reden. Die finden sich alle ganz schön doof hier. So, das Dorf haben wir jetzt. Schauen wir uns wahrscheinlich mal den Ort an, wo das passiert ist. Ja. San Matthäus. Was war das nicht, der Loder? Hier unten. Ach, kommt. Heidewitzka, Herr Kapitän.
If you are saying that these tablets bear writings from the very hand of our holy founder, then we
Okay.
must find them. Without
We
them,
must find
all our
them.
research to trace the life of Saint Matthias on this island is doomed to failure. If these savages have stolen them, we will have to take them back by force, if necessary.
Okay. Also hier war das wahrscheinlich drin. Das ist die Frage. Was macht man hier? Jetzt schauen wir erstmal.
There is only one entrance and the door shows no evidence of a break-in.
Can't believe it. This brother Virgil was unforgivably neglectful. Idiot must have fallen asleep and then our thieves only had to take the keys from him.
It's very likely that that's what happened, but someone must have informed them. It can't be a coincidence that they decided to steal it during the watch of the only neglectful guard.
It has to be someone in the village. If we find them, there's a chance we can retrieve the relics.
We know that this theft could be an act of vengeance by the natives who were forced to leave here. They must still have allies in the village, family or friends. We should go talk to the chief of the natives. He will certainly know who is close to the exiles, and enough about the researchers to inform them.
Heidewitzka, Herr General. Jo, und gerade singe ich noch und da ist mir das Spiel abgeschmiert. So, ich habe es jetzt erstmal soweit repariert. Ich hoffe, das geht jetzt trotzdem und wir spielen an der Stelle weiter. Aber schön ist das nicht. So, egal, jetzt bin ich falsch gelaufen. Heidewitzka. Also ich hatte ja tatsächlich das mit diesen Abstürzen eigentlich so ein bisschen abgehakt. Jetzt scheint das wieder loszugehen. Das ist nicht gut. Das ist nicht gut. Ja, so langsam kriege ich hier meine Strecke auch klar gezogen. Dass ich weiß, wo ich hin muss. So, jetzt wollen wir mal rausfinden, wer in dem Dorf hier gepetzt hat.
You have returned on Manawi. Do you need something else?
I think I know who stole the tablets.
Really?
I believe those who were exiled from your village seek vengeance because the missionaries forced them to leave. They must have taken the tablets with the help of someone else who stayed here.
You may be right, but you may also be wrong.
Ja.
You do well to tell me what you know. Once the priests have reached the same conclusions as I have, how do you think they will interrogate you?
You're probably right. The Inquisitors would come back, and my people would suffer. I do not want to break the peace that I did all I could to make. I think the name of the woman you are looking for is Vindwal. She helps the priests who seek the old sage.
If she's helping the priests, why would she betray them now?
Her son is one of the warriors who had to leave the village. He's filled with anger and fury. If you go talk to her, please, do not hurt her. She is but a mother who acted according to her son's wishes.
I have no intention of hurting her, but things may not be so simple when it comes to her son. I have to go.
Like so many others.
Das sagt er auch jedes Mal. Like so many others. So, jetzt wollen wir mal schauen hier. Ja, die schicken mich halt ganz schön rum und das ist halt, das meine ich mit, ich treffe am Ende des Tages, treffe ich nicht eine Entscheidung selber. Am Ende des Tages sagt er mir einen Namen, dann gehe ich dahin, dann ist es die richtige und dann geht das weiter, dann hole ich ihren Sohn, dann haue ich den.
Greetings. Are you Vindwal?
Ui, spannende
Welt
Frisur.
here, Tumad. Yes, that is me. What you want?
What you want?
What can you tell me about Lair, your former leader?
He is a man of peace. Some people dislike him, not me. Everything he did to save the village. But I think the mind shakers made him forget what we are. He almost speaks like them now.
Oh yeah.
Listen, I know you helped the exiles to steal the tablets of Saint Matthias.
No, this is not true. It wasn't me.
There's no point in denying it.
Okay.
I know you did it for your son who had to leave the village.
If you know that, then you know that I don't have the tablets. So what do you want from me?
Was ist denn das? Was ist denn das hier?
Tell me where the exiles are. I must retrieve these tablets.
You're asking me to betray my son. Promise me that you won't hurt him.
Das kann
I
ich nicht.
promise. But if he reacts violently, I'll have to defend myself.
Then I hope he'll be reasonable. Bran and the others are hiding in the woods, beyond the circle of stone.
Thank
Okay.
you, Vindwal.
Puh, naja, dann holen wir mal die Tafeln zurück hier. Schauen wir mal. Oh je, Minavi. Die schwarzen Lande. Hirschen. Der läuft auch ein bisschen sehr ungelenkt durch die Gegend. Oh. Wer bist denn du? Oh je. Okay. Was? Ich wollte was trinken, ehrlich gesagt. Ui, wer war denn das? Puh. Alter, jetzt war auf einmal hier so ein Rudel Viecher. Aber was für unsympathische. Hui, die Witzka. So, ich muss mal schnell hier nach meinen Fähigkeiten gucken. Hier, wo gibt es denn hier noch was Cooles? Bomben, Granaten. Stasis. Zwei Punkte. Das wäre mal, ich werde glaube ich dann mal hier in diese Richtung gehen. Mann, oh Mann, oh Mann, oh Mann. Hier passieren ja lustige Sachen. Jetzt kann ich hier wieder nicht mehr hoch. Ach, na klar. Steinkreis, kann ich hier irgendwas machen? Nee. Kann ich nicht. Kann ich nicht, kann ich nicht, kann ich nicht. Schade drum. Die Viecher da, das war gerade echt zornig, du.
Here's the place that Vindwal indicated. The exiles must be near.
These people have been banished already. There's no need to add death to their list of punishments. Let's try not to fight them.
Don't worry, we'll be discreet.
Ja.
In that case, we should avoid taking the left path. If I remember correctly what that woman said, it's booby-trapped.
Der linke ist vermint. Okay, dann gehen wir hier mal in der Mitte lang.
Wait! What are you doing here?
Oh.
I'm not here to fight you, but I must retrieve the tablets of Saint Matthias.
What? How do you know we have them? And how? Not Freddy. We will not give them back.
Das sieht doch
We
lustig
lost
aus.
our homes and families, so the priests lose their sacred stones.
Komm.
I know that you are seeking vengeance, but the priests will not be the only ones to suffer the consequences of your actions. Your mother helped you, and once they find out about it, she will pay the price in your place. Is that what you want?
No. She only
Ja,
told us
Charisma
which
läuft.
night we could come. They have no right to punish her for this.
I doubt the Ordo Luminous will care. They will need someone to take the blame, and she's the obvious choice.
Very well. Take the stones and leave. All that's left to do is to rejoin the Donea Exregau.
Und das war ja einfach, siehst du? Das war ja simpel. Okay. Auch wenn mir das gerade so ein bisschen widerstrebt, den Arschkrampen zu helfen, das muss ich auch mal festhalten. Und manchmal kann man sich halt leider nicht aussuchen.
What are you doing here?
I was worried for my son. I wanted to make sure that everything was fine.
Yes,
Don't
everything
worry,
is
all
fine.
is well. I managed to convince him to give me the tablets.
Ad Loreda, I did not believe my son to be so reasonable. You are giving me hope. I will go see him and tell him to find another clan. A place to welcome him.
Ja, kriegen wir hin. Siehste? Meine Legende wächst. Meine Legende wächst. Sehr schön wächst es. Dumbidi, dumbidi, dumbidi. Da ist wieder der Hirsch. Ah! Einfach mal umgeschossen. So. Wie viel habe ich denn eigentlich noch? Wo kann ich mir das nachgucken? Hier. Was haben wir denn noch an Munition? Also, wir haben an Heiltränken. Das muss ich auch mal nachgucken. Großer Heiltrank 3. Heiltrank ist 27. Das ist okay. Munition 53. Ja, da sind wir tatsächlich ganz gut aufgestellt. Wie gesagt, ich muss halt immer noch so ein bisschen nachgucken. Einfach weil, ja, ich ganz lange nicht gespielt habe. Alte Duellpistole, ja. Gut. So, ich gebe das jetzt ab und dann ist auch die Folge vorbei. Jawohl. Hi, Eugenia.
I retrieved your relics.
Thank you. Thank you immensely. Thanks to them, we will be able to continue our research on St. Matthias.
I am curious to know who is responsible for this theft. The culprit must be brought to justice.
Ach, halt die Klappe.
I do not want to point the finger at anyone. You have your relics back, and that's the only thing that matters.
Your indulgence honors you. But how can we be certain that these thieves will not strike again if they are not punished?
A good start would be to keep a better watch on the priceless treasures that you find.
In any case, you would do well to keep a better watch on your discoveries in the
So
future.
ist das nämlich.
You should also pay more attention to those who share this village with you. This theft would never have happened had you truly been in harmony with the natives.
But that is precisely what we desire more than anything. We may have been a bit clumsy in the beginning, but we'll make sure to improve things in the future.
Oje, Mini.
You really were a great help. I would be most grateful if you agreed to continue helping us.
I might come back at some point, but alas, I'm very busy.
Naturally. Either way, we are certainly capable of
Können wir den
continuing our
umbringen?
research
Geht
without
das?
you.
Actually, I must go back to my work. Our next expedition must depart as soon as possible.
Your next expedition?
Our brave researchers must continue to follow the tracks of our founder on this island. In the meantime, here, take this as a token of gratitude for the help you gave us.
Thank you. I hope your expedition will be a success.
Was habe ich jetzt gekriegt? Fortschritt in der Hauptquest. Okay, also das war jetzt hier die Nebenquest mit unserem Freund und Kupferstecher. So, Champion der Arena wäre dann dran. Fußstapfen, Professor hier. Da habe ich tatsächlich keinen Bock drauf. Darauf habe ich tatsächlich auch keinen Bock. Mission, Schädlingsbekämpfung, gestohlene Fracht, das Grab des Reisenden und Nester. Ja, das lasse ich jetzt einfach weg und wir werden uns jetzt mal mit diesem Dorf da auseinandersetzen. Das ist ja, warte mal, das ist ja scheinbar auch hier irgendwo. Aha. Ja, das ist ja cool. Dann gehen wir noch zum Lager und dann beende ich auch die Folge. Und dann reden wir mit dem, wenn wir schon mal hier sind, macht das ja Sinn, oder? Da können wir ja tatsächlich dort ein bisschen lagern. Dann kann ich auch diesen komischen Petrus wieder weglassen. Und dann nehme ich wieder hier meine Freunde mit. So. Die Gefährten versammeln. Du folgst mir nicht, sondern dich nehme ich mit. Petrus ist raus und Siora kommt mit. Schlafen wir noch eine Runde und euch wünsche ich eine gute Nacht und bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao, ciao, der Ära.